people of the free world, our illustrious leader has decreed that you all must watch Mr. Duncan's English lessons, even though he's an imperialist scumbag. But he's quite funny, really. It's Sunday, it's 2 o'clock in the UK, and this is Live English. Well, hello there. Welcome to a very wet and stormy UK. Live from England. Here we go again. Yes, indeed, it is Sunday afternoon. And can I just say that it is absolutely freezing today? It is so cold. What has happened to summer? Summer seems to have vanished all of a sudden. So I'm not sure what is going on, but it's absolutely freezing cold today. And just to prove it, I am all wrapped up here in my warm clothing. I don't know what's happened. It's gone so cold here in the UK. It is absolutely freezing cold at the moment here in the UK, especially in my studio. And earlier I asked Mr. Steve, I said, Mr. Steve, please can we put the heating on because I'm so cold? And Mr. Steve said, no, it's too early. It's too early in the year. It's not winter yet. So no, you can't have the heating on. It is a waste of oil. So I have to now sit here in the studio, freezing cold, in my warm clothing because it's so cold. Hi everybody and welcome. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Are you happy? Are you happy today? I really hope so. So it is Sunday here in the UK, and I think it might be Sunday where you are as well. How is things going? How are they going? Are they going okay? I really hope so. My mouth is actually freezing here. My lips are turning to ice. It's so cold in the studio. I don't know why it's so cold today. Can I first say a big sorry? Can I apologise to all of the walkers who were going down Wenlock Edge behind my house today? They were all walking down together, and I was in my bathroom. Now, my bathroom faces onto the back of Wenlock Edge, and I was in the bathroom this morning, completely naked, getting ready for today's live English lesson. I was in there, and the walkers were coming down the hill, and they can see right into my bathroom because they are very high up. So can I first apologise to the 27 walkers and their guide who I did surprise this morning because I was completely naked in my bathroom and I think they saw me. I was doing my exercises over the bathtub. I like to do some squat thrusts in the morning. Do you know squat thrusts? You have to get down on your hands and your knees and then you move your legs backwards and forwards. So there I was in my bathroom this morning doing my exercises over the bathtub, and I think the walkers may have seen me naked. So I must apologise first of all to the walkers who may have been slightly surprised by seeing me naked in the bathroom. Oh dear me. So here we go. It is Sunday. I am YouTube's best kept secret. It's true. The algorithms on YouTube make sure that you don't see me ever. Thanks, YouTube. Thank you so much for that. A few people have written to me. Thank you very much. I love hearing from you, by the way. We have some lovely emails, including Anna, who has written to me. Dear Mr. Duncan, I love your live streams so much. Your friend Steve is a gem of your charming productions. Good luck to you both, from Anna. Thank you very much, Anna, for your lovely email. Also, a big hello to Fernando as well. Hello, Fernando. Thank you very much for joining me today. Your method of teaching is incredible. Sometimes I find myself reacting, making a comment out loud in my everyday life with an English phrase automatically, as if I learnt it during my childhood. I do appreciate you very, very, very much. That is a lot of veries. Regards, dear teacher, from Fernando. Thank you very much for your lovely message. And finally, we have another message here. I think this is from Olga. Thank you, Olga, for your email. I like to share with you some discovery concerning your wonderful lessons. I was always wondering why your lessons, where you only speak, they motivate me to speak English well. And recently I found the information that when we write, we tell the text exactly in our mouth. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but I get the idea, yes. So it is the relationship or the relation between what you hear or what you write and also what you speak. So yes, I think you're right there. I like the way in which the live lessons are evolving. Thank you very much. Your lessons are not only about English language, they are also about culture, habits, trends, and beauty. Ooh. They are never boring. Well, I must admit, I'm very pleased to hear that. Of course, I do get some complaints as well. Sometimes people write to me and they complain. One complaint that I received a few days ago was, where is all the English? I don't know what you mean by that. Someone actually wrote to me and asked why I never teach English in my live streams. I'm teaching English now as I speak to you. As I'm talking at this very moment in time, I am actually teaching you English. So you are learning English all the time during my live streams. So you never stop, really. And yes, I am here for 2 hours. 2 hours? What am I going to do? I have no idea. I have to fill a whole 2 hours of stream time. So here I am streaming live. How is your day today? I hope it's going okay. It would appear to be raining everywhere in the world. At the moment, in the world, everywhere is seeing rainfall, including here. So this is my rain cam. As you can see out of the window, we've had a lot of rain today and also yesterday as well. It was so wet. A very wet day here in the UK. So sadly, unfortunately, I am sorry to say that we will not be going outside. But don't worry, because we will have some flash words and also a flash phrase from Mr. Steve. Yes, Mr. Steve will be here today. He will be here on video and also he will be here live as well. So Mr. Steve will be here a little bit later on. In fact, he will be live at 3 o'clock today. So Mr. Steve will be live on YouTube at 3 o'clock. And today we are talking about lots of things today. Lots of subjects, lots of little subjects to keep you going on this Sunday afternoon. And first of all, we are going to talk about the worst job you have ever done. What was or what is the most unpleasant and unrewarding job that you've ever done. Now, a little bit later on, I will reveal one of the jobs that I did many years ago when I was very young. When I was between jobs in my very young days, I did some terrible jobs. I had to work in some awful places. So a little bit later on, we'll be talking about that. But what was the worst job you have ever done? A job, maybe you had to work somewhere which was very unpleasant, and maybe the job was very unrewarding. And another question today. This is our big topic today. We'll be talking a lot about this today. In daily life, what things really annoy you? What gets on your nerves? So if something gets on your nerves, we can say that it is annoying. So in your daily life, what things really annoy you? Come on, don't hold back. Please tell me what your pet peeves and daily gripes are. So a pet peeve is something that really annoys you. Maybe it is top of the list of your annoying things. The things that annoy you every day. And a little bit later on, I will be live. I will be here with Mr. Steve as well, live on YouTube. And we will be talking about the things that annoy us during our daily lives. So all of that to come a little bit later on. Some other news that I have to give you, some very important news here in fact. I have found out that I will be getting a new neighbour. So next door to me, the person living next door is now officially moving away. In around about 2 weeks' time, he will be moving and I will be getting some new neighbours. So now it is official, I will be getting some new next door neighbours. But of course, the big question is, will they be good neighbours? Or will they be bad neighbours? All will be revealed later on. And of course, we have the live chat. How can I forget you out there chatting away live? So let's have a look, shall we, at the live chat. Today on the live chat, well, first of all, we have Julie G. Congratulations, Julie. You are the first person on the live chat today. Also, Gorkem is here. Hello, Gorkem. Where are you watching at the moment? I would like to know. Shirin Ibrahim is here. Hello, Shirin. Thank you for joining me today. Patricia, hello from France. A big bonjour to Patricia from Monsieur Duncan. Hamodar is here. Hello, Hamodar. Thank you very much for joining me today. Abdur is here as well. Thank you, Abdur. Olga. Oh, hello, Olga. Thank you very much for joining me today. Yikub is here as well. Just a couple of more hellos, and I have some lovely things to show you then. Mika is here. Mika Ode, watching in Japan. Can I just say, it's lovely to see my regular viewers. So when I get regular viewers, it means that you approve of what I do. So thank you very much. I always feel very moved, very happy when I see my regular viewers. By the way, if it is your first time here today, maybe it is the first time that you are joining me in my very cold studio. I don't know why, it's freezing today. Attila is here. Thank you, Attila, for joining me. Andrew is here. Thank you, Andrew. Very kind of you to join me as well. Harkirat is here. I am Mr. Singh, watching in India. I really adore this channel. Thank you very much, and you are very welcome to join me every week. Don't forget, I am here on YouTube every Sunday. Can you see I'm shivering? I'm so cold I'm actually shivering. So I'm here every Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. Every Sunday from 2 p.m. Jaman is here. Hello, Jaman. Thank you for joining me as well. Pedro Belmont, a big hello to you as well. So many people here today. Thank you very much for joining me. Maria, I'm saying hello to Maria. Hi, Maria. Thanks for joining me again as well. Francesco, yes, Mr. Duncan, it is a very cold day today. I agree. The weather is awful. It's awful outside. Look at the rain. It's so wet. It was very wet yesterday, and it's very wet and damp today as well. I don't like the cold weather. If there are two things that I really hate about the weather, it's when it's cold and wet at the same time. I hate it so much. I don't like it when it's cold and wet at the same time. It really annoys me. So, the question today in daily life, what things really annoy you? So, today I want you to get it off your chest. If there is something you want to tell me, something that really annoys you every single day, come on, now is the chance to get it off your chest. If you get something off your chest, it means you tell someone about it. Maybe it's something that you really want to share with someone else, but maybe you are too afraid to do it. So you get it off your chest. So there it is. Get it off your chest. Mr. Steve is here today. He will also be telling us 5 things that annoy him every day, and also I will be sharing 5 things as well at 3 o'clock. Talking of Mr. Steve, here he comes now with today's first flash word.
Tenacious. Tenacious is an English adjective. The word tenacious is an English adjective that describes something with a tendency to hold tight with a firm grip. A person who does not give up and shows determination can be described as tenacious. For example, he has a tenacious character. I admire your tenacious attitude. The noun form of tenacious is tenacity. A thing that is hard to disprove can be described as tenacious. A tenacious person can be described as determined, firm, insistent, resolute, stubborn, unwavering. Tenacious.
Tenacious. Oh, I like that word. That's a very interesting word, Mr. Steve. Thank you for that first flash word today. So coming up today, we have lots of new words, lots of expressions to share with you. So I hope you will stay with me. I'm actually starting to get warm now. It's getting warm in here. So I think it's because of my studio lights. It's now starting to get very warm in here. So now I have removed my coat. So that feels a little bit more comfortable now. Mr. Duncan, Simona is here. Hi, Simona. Thank you for joining me. Hi, Mr. Duncan, and hello to everyone. Here in the south of Romania, it is very hot. About 32 degrees. Well, all I can say, Simona, is you are very, very lucky, because here it is cold and wet. Lots of places at the moment, especially over the United States, suffering terrible, terrible weather. Lots of hurricanes. We also had an earthquake a couple of days ago in Mexico. So can I first say hello to all my friends in Mexico watching? Thank you very much. My thoughts are with you. And also a big hello to my friends watching in the United States as well. My thoughts are with you too. Mina. Oh, hello, Mina. Yes, I am very happy today, and I wish you are the same. Of course, I'm happy every day. I'm always happy. I will be very happy at 3 o'clock because Mr. Steve will be here to share the things that really annoy him. But in daily life, what things really annoy you? Please let me know on the live chat. Would you like to see some nice things? Okay then. Here is something very interesting I saw a couple of days ago during my many walks. So this was a walk I took the other day and this is what I saw. Can you tell what they are? They are, of course, mushrooms growing around the area in which I live. Can you see them? Mushrooms. So mushrooms, or some people call it fungi. Fungi. Some people say that Mr. Duncan is a very fun guy. So there we go. You can see some wild mushrooms. Now, one of my neighbours the other day said, Mr. Duncan, you should really go and pick some mushrooms. You should eat them. Now, I'm not sure if that's a good idea because, of course, some mushrooms are deadly. They are poisonous. If you eat them, they can actually kill you. So there they are, the mushrooms that I came across the other day. I spotted them during my little walk. Something else a little unusual now to show you. Here is something very strange. Can you see that? Can you see what it is? It is a very unusual tree. Something very strange. But what type of tree is it? This particular tree is called a monkey puzzle tree. It's very unusual, very strange looking. And this particular tree is huge. It's about 200 feet tall. And did you know that once a monkey puzzle tree becomes a certain size, you are not allowed to cut it down? It is actually illegal to cut a monkey puzzle tree down. It's true, I'm not joking. So there it was, something I saw on my many walks. I hope you enjoyed that. I love sharing things with you. It's good to share, isn't it? Would you like to have a look at one of my Ask Mr. Duncan lessons? Now, Ask Mr. Duncan was a series of lessons that I made. I started making them in 2010 and I stopped making them around about 2 years ago. So here we go. This is Ask Mr. Duncan 25 and this has lots of great information about the English language.
Dear Mr. Duncan, may your birthday bring to you as much happiness as you give to everyone who knows you and listen your videos. Thank you very much. Are you happy? I hope so. Tatiana from Romania.
Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope so. Here we all are once again for another delve into the virtual email sack of questions, queries and comments concerning the English language and my teaching work on that fibre optic thingy we call the internet. Imagine what would happen if the internet suddenly disappeared. What would we all do? I think I would cry for a whole week and then comfort myself by eating a big double chocolate muffin. But now I'm just waffling. So let's cut straight to the chase with our first question for today. What are the differences between less and lesser? This question comes from Eugene, who lives in South Korea. The word less is used to show that the amount, level or quantity of something is not as much as something else. It can show a desire for a certain quantity compared with before. Could I have less sugar in my tea today? A higher amount is more. A lower amount is less. We say more or less to show that something is about right. Is this an accurate description? More or less. Lesser is used when we are making a direct comparison between two things. We compare them. We highlight the lesser of the two. So lesser refers to the lower item or the smaller thing. The effect of one thing may not be as bad as the other. The lesser of the two is much safer. The phrase, the lesser of the two evils, means that one thing is not as bad as the other, even though both are seen as wrong. The opposite of lesser is greater. The opposite of less is more. A nice email. I have received a nice email from Irina in Siberia, who would like me to say a big hello to her students at the School of Tomorrow in the town of Cyanogorsk. The School of Tomorrow. I think that is a wonderful name for a school, and I would like to wish all of the students there a great new school term and good luck with your English studies. What does the phrase swear by mean? Does it mean that you will say something bad? This question was sent in by Rachel, who lives on the beautiful island of Sardinia. The phrase swear by means that you are trusting something for its effect or its ability. You always use that particular thing. You swear by it. It is a kind of recommendation. I always use this particular shampoo. I swear by it. Swear by is not the same as swear on. Swear on relates to giving a promise or oath. I swear on my mother's life that it is true. Having said that, we can say swear by when giving an oath in a law court. For example, here in England, we are made to swear on a sacred book, such as the Bible or Quran. Before giving evidence during a trial, we will say, I swear by Almighty God. It serves as both a symbolic gesture and a legally binding oath to show that you are going to be honest. I will tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Why do you teach English? This question comes from Alexandre Ziani, who lives in Brazil and is himself an English teacher. First of all, it is worth mentioning that I have always been fascinated by communication of all types, be it among humans or other forms of wildlife. The words spoken verbally and the unspoken language we all use with our bodies really do fascinate me. As a child, I loved writing stories. They served as an escape from my otherwise dull childhood. Fantasy and imagination were my outlets, and knowledge became my constant pursuit. What seemed strange then has enabled me to pass on all the things I have learned. Knowledge is there to be shared, and what better way is there of doing this than through teaching? For me, it has always been a natural transition. The fondest memories of my childhood come from those who offered words of encouragement and support. Through my English teacher and my art teacher, I was able to hold on to something which has stayed with me to this very day, the feeling of self-worth and purpose. So, why do I teach English? Why do I teach it all? Over the years, I have come to fully realise the true value of education. It is not only there to instruct, it also allows those you teach to realise their own potential. It encourages them to always aim high and never give up. A good teacher will always encourage this. It's that time again. Here it is once again, the feature to end all features, the bit to end all bits, the part to end all parts, the segment to end... Oh, well, you get the idea.
It's the word of the week.
glee. This week's word is short and sweet. The word is glee. This is a noun which expresses delight, joy, and happiness. To be lively and joyous. In American English, the word is used in glee club, which means a group of people who get together to sing. A choral group, a group of performers who sing short songs together. The word glee has now become popular thanks to the US TV show of the same name. Some more nice emails. I have received a nice email from Vicky in Mexico, who describes my video lessons as awesome and asks if I will be making some more idiom and slang lessons. Yes, Vicky, I'm planning to produce some more lessons featuring both idioms and slang terms later this year, so keep a lookout for them. A big thank you also to Ravinda in India, who wrote to tell me how helpful my lessons have been, especially from the point of view of providing something new each time to help build those all-important communication skills. I'm glad to hear that my lessons have proved so beneficial to you both. Another fascinating idiom. This is red tape. It is a very useful material. It also happens to be an English idiom. Red tape refers to rules and regulations or procedures connected with them. This phrase is often used in a negative way to express an overcomplicated procedure. Governments often use red tape to slow down the speed of a decision or change in law. When we want to speed up the procedure, then we will try and cut through all the red tape. Its origin comes from the fact that most official British government documents were usually tied with red tape. Why won't you read my email out? I've sent it many times. Recently, I have received some angry emails from students who feel annoyed that I have not read their emails out. First of all, I can promise that I read every email which is sent to me. Sadly, I cannot reply in person due to the amount of questions I receive. Each week I choose 3 or 4 questions to answer, and I try to give everyone a chance to be mentioned. This has always been my aim. So if your email question is not answered this week, there is still a chance that it could be read out at a later date. Another thing to mention is that if you repeatedly send the same question in to me from the same address, then your emails will most likely be sent to the junk mailbox as spam, which means I will never get to see any of them at all. Please send your questions and comments just once. If you have a question, mark it as English question. If you just want a special hello, please mark the message as special hello. I love hearing from you all, as it makes my work so much more of a joy to do. Before I finish today for my summer vacation, I would like to say a special hello to Vladimir in Russia, who asks if there are any other ways to say happy birthday in English. Well, we can say many happy returns, or many happy returns of the day. We can simply say best wishes for your birthday, or all the best on your birthday. We can say live long and prosper. Oh, no, not that one. That's from Star Trek. Silly me. Also, a big hello to Ignat Kulier in Croatia and Rizwan in India. A big hello also to some of my new Facebook buddies, including Rami, Martin, Tina, Alfredo, Chan, Tomo, Leonardo, Fahad, and Federico. A big hello to all of you. That is all from me for the next 2 weeks. I'm taking a short break, but do not fear, because I will be back again with another Ask Mr. Duncan and a new full-length lesson, plus the return of the red curtains. You know, I have really missed those drapes. In American English, drapes means curtains. This is Mr. Duncan in England saying thank you for asking me. And of course, ta-ta for now. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Of course, I'm not going away for 2 weeks. There it was. That was one of my classic Ask Mr. Duncan lessons. Did you enjoy that? I really, really hope so. I'm not going away, don't worry. I am with you right now, and I will stay with you forever and ever until the end of time. I promise. Thanks for joining me today. We have some great questions to ask, including in daily life, what things really annoy you. Thank you very much for your answers. In a moment, we will be having a look at today's mystery idioms. Yes, the mystery idioms are here. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten about them. They will be here, and we have 2 good ones today. 2 really good ones. Tomek is watching. Hello, Tomek. Hello, Mr. Duncan. How are you? That is too bad that the weather has changed and you are cold. Well, now I feel quite warm. So now I have warmed up. I feel much better. Thank you very much. If there is any consolation, I actually caught a cold this week. So, Mr. Duncan, hang in there. I will. Thank you very much, Tomek. And I hope you feel better very soon. Asma is here. Hello, teacher. This is the first time that I've been here. I'm very happy to join your live stream. A big hello to you from Kuwait. Hello, Kuwait, and thanks for joining me. Asma Al-Gaith. I hope I pronounced your name right. Here in the Balkans, it is very hot now in the Balkans. There's nothing worse than getting hot around the Balkans. Alberto has an answer to the question I asked earlier. What was the worst job you have ever done? The most unpleasant and unrewarding job. So, thank you very much. Alberto says, the worst job I've ever had was working as a clerk in a bank. It was so boring. That's actually what Alberto has put. He's put boring. So I get the feeling that your job, the job you used to do in the bank as a clerk, was very boring. I think so. Maybe, perhaps some people like being a clerk. Maybe it's their lifelong dream to sit behind a counter giving money out to people. Who knows? Robert Arjun is here. Hello, Robert. Thank you very much for joining. You are new. You are very welcome, Robert. Robert Arjun, who is watching in India. Let's see if we can find some answers to the question I asked. Oh, Luciano asks, Mr. Duncan, what are the cans on your table? The cans right here. Can you see them? If we have time, I will take a close look at these cans a little bit later on. If we have time, because we have a lot of things to get through today. I'm looking for some answers to today's questions. What was the worst job you've ever done, and what annoys you in your daily life? Things that get on your nerves, your pet peeves and daily gripes. So today I am encouraging you to get it off your chest. So if there's something you want to complain about, something in your daily life that really annoys you, then you will have a chance to let me know. Janet has answered that question. Janet Quintero says, annoying things, I will tell you. I will tell you right now what annoys me. Come on, Janet, tell me please. When people make a noise while they are eating, oh, I can't stand that. When people eat, and when they are eating, they make a terrible noise, a sort of slurping, chomping noise. Oh, that's horrible. So disgusting, I know. And another thing that I hate is when people eat with their mouth open. So they eat, but you can still see the food in their mouth. So whilst they are eating, their mouth is opening and you can see everything in their mouth. You can see all of the food being chewed up. Ugh, that is pretty disgusting. I must admit, Janet, I do agree with you. That is a very good one. Peter is here, watching in Brazil. Thank you very much. Hello, teacher from Viet Vuong, watching in Vietnam. Hello, Vietnam. Hello, everyone watching in Vietnam. I know I have lots of viewers watching in Vietnam. Fuad Omar says, hello from Somaliland. Hello, Fuad. Thank you for joining me today. It's nice to see you live, Mr. Duncan, says Hassan Abbas. You are welcome once again. Let's see if we can find some answers to today's questions. Oh, first of all, Marcelo asks, what are the differences between peddler and stall and a street hawker? Well, they can be used in the same way. So someone's selling something normally in the street, or perhaps they go to your door. So maybe they knock on your door and they try to sell something to you directly. We can describe them as being a peddler. A stall is normally something that is set up. So normally you will see a store set up in maybe a town centre or maybe in a marketplace. So there is a slight difference there. Street hawker. A street hawker is a person who sells things. So they are similar, but there are some differences as well. Thank you, Marcelo, for that. Analytic Brain. I love your name. Dear Mr. Duncan, how are you doing today? I love your style of show, you teachers. I think you're an environmentalist. I'm not sure if I am an environmentalist. I do sometimes take care. Certainly when it comes to animals, I like to take care of them. I like to look after them, especially the birds, because birds are very fascinating. I always find nature very fascinating. Would you like to see something now? Something from nature. Here it is. This is something that I spotted this week. I saw it on my window and I couldn't resist filming it. Can you see what it is? This is a particular insect called a daddy longlegs. Daddy longlegs. And this particular insect is very unusual in the fact that its legs are very long. It can also be called a crane fly. So this particular insect has more than one name. It can be called a daddy longlegs. Also, it can be called a crane fly. And if I'm not mistaken, I think in the United States, this is also called a harvest man. I think so. I might be wrong there. So there it is, a very unusual insect. Look at that. I was very lucky because I could get my camera very close to the insect. So there it is. Daddy long legs. Do you get daddy long legs in your country? Do you have them there? Or perhaps in your country you have another very unusual insect. Perhaps. Okay, here we go. It is now 2:48. It is just coming up to 10 to 3. We have Mr. Steve at 3 o'clock, and today he is going to talk about 5 things that annoy him every day. And also I will tell you 5 things that annoy me every day. Things that annoy you. So here we go. The mystery idioms. Here come the mystery idioms for today. Lots of people love the mystery idioms. Mr. Duncan, we love the mystery idioms. See? Just to prove it. Today's first mystery idiom. Here it is. All you have to do is tell me what the idiom is. What is it? What is it? What is the idiom? What is the idiom? Just say what you see. And here is the second mystery idiom. The second one. I can't tell you how long it took me to make that picture. I actually created that picture myself. It took me a very long time. I must admit my Photoshop skills are improving, don't you think? Don't you think? I'm getting very good at Photoshop. And there it is, the first one. So today's mystery idioms. There is the first one, and once again I will show you the second one because I'm ever so kind. There is the second mystery idiom once again. But what are they? What are the mystery idioms? If you think you know, let me know and I might read your name out. Robert is here. Thank you, Robert, once again for saying hello. Simona has a complaint to make about a job done in the past. I used to work at McDonald's for 2 months. And I did this in 2000. And it was awful. And I didn't eat there from that point. So from that time to this date now, to this very moment in time, you have never eaten at McDonald's. So working there was so bad that you never ate there again. Wow. Of course, here in the UK, there are some strikes taking place at the moment at McDonald's. So some people are actually going on strike. But yes, fast food restaurants. Normally people work in fast food restaurants during maybe their year from studying. So if they take a year out from their studying, sometimes they will do a part-time job. Maybe they will work in a shop, or perhaps they will work in a fast food restaurant like McDonald's or KFC or Burger King or, well, you know the rest. Sijit is here. Hello, sir, from Indonesia. Hello to Indonesia. I hope you are having a good day. It's very wet here at the moment. This is the view at the moment from my window. It is a very dull and wet day. I don't like it. I really don't. I don't like it when it rains and when it's cold at the same time. I really don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Oh, another terrible job. Here we go. Nikolai has a really awful job that he used to do. My worst job was working as a night guard in a warehouse and also a shop. So you can say a night guard, but also you can say security guard, or you can say night watchman. So a night watchman is someone who works during the night and they keep an eye on the building. They make sure that no one breaks in or trespasses. Thank you, Nikolai, for that. So your worst job, the job that you really hated, was working as a security guard or a night watchman, or of course you can say night guard as well. Do you have a job, or did you have a job that you really hated? A little bit later on, when Mr. Steve arrives, because he will be here in 5 minutes. 5 minutes away from Mr. Steve. He will be here very soon. Sukansa is here. Hello, Sukansa. Thanks for joining me. I am watching you in Thailand. Thank you for all of your videos. You are welcome. And don't forget, you can find my videos. All of my videos are on the playlists underneath this lesson. Underneath. So underneath this video, you can find all of my video lessons. And there are very, very many. There are many of them. There are so many because I've been doing this for over 10 years. Don't forget, next month in October, I will be celebrating my 11th year on YouTube. And we have something very special coming in October. Something amazing. It will blow your mind. Something very special coming in October to celebrate my 11th year on YouTube. Rosa is here. Hello, Rosa. Hello, Mr. Duncan and Mr. Steve. Please do not take responsibility for their acts. I don't know what that means. Maybe you can explain what you mean by that, Rosa. Tarek. Thanks, Tarek, for saying hello again. Mr. Duncan, did you practice Tai Chi when you were in China? Tai Chi. Yes, I did a bit of it. Many people in China like to do Tai Chi. They do the meditation exercises. They do a lot of this. It looks like they're dancing in slow motion. I could have done with some music then. We should have had some music then. That would have been really good. One Agila says, hello, my best teacher, Mr. Duncan. You are welcome, no problem. Hello, Mr. Duncan. The sun is shining in Germany. Thank you, Matthew, for telling me that you have the sunshine. Can we have some, please? Can we have some sunshine? Can you send a little sunshine my way? I would really appreciate it. It is too hot at the moment in Bangladesh. Is it really? How hot is it? Is it 30 degrees? Is it 40 degrees? Mr. Duncan, get it off your chest. Yes, it's a great expression. If you get it off your chest, if you get something off your chest, it means that you tell something to someone that you've always wanted to say. You've kept it inside for so many years, but now finally you can get it off your chest. Ooh, nice. Mr. Duncan, I like your course. Nice course. Haytham, thank you very much, Haytham. Louis is here. Hello, Louis, or Louis Mendez. Hello to you. From France. So Louis is watching in France. Thank you for your live stream. You are the best. Thank you very much for saying that. Mr. Duncan, I have something to tell you that is very annoying. Slow internet. So when the internet keeps freezing, when it stops working, there is nothing more annoying than slow internet. It's very annoying. Mr. Duncan, is it winter yet? No, it's not winter here yet, but it has been very cold. So at the moment here in the UK, we are slowly moving from summer and we are going into autumn. So the next season that we will have here will be autumn. And between you and me, I love autumn so much. I think autumn is a wonderful time of the year. It's a wonderful time of year for everyone because the leaves turn red and gold and then they start to fall to the ground. In fact, I actually made a lesson all about autumn and it is available on my YouTube channel. Mr. Steve will be here very soon. Not yet. I know that Mr. Steve has a lot of fans now watching out there in YouTube land. Fabio is here. Fabio wants to say hi to Janet. Hi, Janet. Hi there. Ooh. Hi, Anne says, thank you, Mr. Duncan, for the live stream. Bent Messirila says, Mr. Duncan, I am sad because I am afraid of the IELTS test. Don't worry about it because I am here, of course, to help you. Keep confident. Don't lose your confidence. Remember what I told you in one of my lessons. Tell yourself that you can do it. Confidence is part of learning. Trust me. So tell yourself, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. You can. I believe in you. Here we go then. It is now 3 o'clock and guess what's coming next? Can you guess what's coming next? Can you? It's Sunday afternoon. I hope you are well. It is the 10th of September. We are almost halfway through September already. And in just 4 weeks' time, they will be putting Christmas cards in the shops. I think it's too soon. It's too soon. Please, please, don't put the Christmas cards in the shops just yet. Thank you very much. Here we go then. It is a man who is a legend in his own bath time. We are talking Mr. Steve. Here he is.
Yes, I know. That's fine. Yes. Well, no, I can't talk for long. I've got to go at 3. Oh, I'm doing that show with Mr. Duncan. You know, yeah, he's that English teacher on YouTube. Been doing it for a number of years, but I've got to go in a bit because I'm on at 3. I think I've got a few minutes yet, though. Huh? What? It's 3 o'clock now? No, I've got a few minutes yet. It's all right. Oh yeah. No. What? Is it 3? Is it 3? Hello. Oh, is it 3 o'clock?
First of all, Mr. Steve, who on earth are you talking to?
Nobody. You caught me there. I thought I got 5 minutes, but
are they still there?
I hadn't. No, I'll just check. Yeah, that's got rid of them.
Did you hang up on them?
Yes. Well, I can call back later. That's all right. I thought I got a couple of minutes, but obviously. Anyway, hello everyone, hello, and hello, Mr. Duncan.
Oh, hello,
you can edit that out later, can't you?
We can edit it out, yes, because that's what you can do with live, you see. When something's live, you can edit it.
So we'll start again. Hello, welcome everybody. I'm Mr. Steve, and I've been asked back by Mr. Duncan to help him with his English teaching videos, and I've got to talk very clearly and concisely so that everyone can understand, and so here I am. Hello, Mr. Duncan.
I have no idea what you just said.
hopefully the auto.
Mr. Steve, I had a
captions.
complaint. I had a complaint last week. Someone complained because they complained that there wasn't enough English in my English lessons. Now, can I just say once again that everything in my English lessons is English. All of this is English, okay? So there's no confusion.
We're not talking German or French.
Or Italian.
Or Italian.
Although, having said that, French is a very romantic language, and Italian is also very romantic.
Yes, the French accent. It is very sexy, no?
You know, for a moment, that sounded like Chinese.
Oh, Chinese, North Korea. Oh, I saw your opening, by the way.
My opening today, I hope I don't start World War III.
Yes, there was a missile test yesterday. I hope he's not planning to do one over Shropshire after watching your little opening there.
Wouldn't it be ironic? Wouldn't it be ironic if I started World War III because of my YouTube stream?
That would be tragic, because we wouldn't be able to see any more of you.
Imagine the stories the next day in the newspaper.
We'd all be speaking North Korean, probably. Is there a North Korean language, or is it the same in South Korea?
I think you will find North Korean is Korean.
Korean. Right, so they've got the same language, North and South. That's good.
I would definitely stop what you're saying right now.
Just interested.
By the way, I've noticed something on the North Korean TV opening. Let me just show this to the audience. Here is the opening of the North Korean TV news. Now, there is something you will notice very strange here. As it zooms in, you will notice that South Korea is missing on their map. So there is the map that they use, but can you see North Korea is there, but South Korea isn't there. It's not even there. It's as if they've cut it off and pushed it into the ocean. So that's something I noticed a couple of days ago. Is it interesting? Yeah.
Topical.
Very topical. So, Mr. Steve, we have a few things to talk about today. I've been asking people in daily life what things really annoy you, and also the worst job that you've ever done. So let's start with the first question. Okay. What is the worst job, or what was the worst job that you've ever done, Mr. Steve?
Well, I think that would have to be, when I first, in my early 20s, not that long ago, my first job was working in a hospital laboratory, doing blood tests and things. So if you go into hospital, or if you go to your doctor, sometimes they take blood out of your arm that's sent off for a blood test, and it goes to a hospital. And I used to do those blood tests along with a lot of others of us, but we didn't just test blood. Oh no, we tested lots of fluids and solids that come out of the human body.
Mr. Steve, I know what the answer to that is. Is it poop?
It's poop.
Is it poop? Did you used to have... Now, let me get this right. So you had to handle other people's poop.
They would come into the hospital. We would have 3 or 5 day collections of poop, if that's the word you want. I can think of other words, but we'll use that. That's quite a clean word. And we used to have to perform various tests on them. And if you were new into the lab, they would give you this to test your mettle.
So this was sort of an initiation.
I think it was.
So if you were new in the laboratory, they would give you all of the poop to test.
They'd give you all the poop to test, and you had to go into a special corner, into a special room.
I bet you did.
And you used to have to... Well, let's not go into details in case somebody's eating, but it was a disgusting test to perform.
I hope you wore rubber gloves.
I wore rubber gloves and lots of other things. We used to have to mix it with solvents and extract. Oh, it was horrible. But there was an extractor fan in this room was specially just for these tests on poop.
and there was an extractor fan in there. But the extractor fan could be set on suck or blow, extract or... And I'd set it the wrong way, so I'd set it to suck in air instead of extract the air, and all the smell went across the entire laboratory.
So the air was being sucked in, so the poop smell was going everywhere.
It was going everywhere.
Instead of the poop smell going out.
So I didn't... So that's the worst job I've ever had to do.
Well, I thought I could beat you there, but I don't think I can beat with handling other people's poop. Really,
nobody's ever beaten me on that one.
No, I think you win already. That's it. I've got nothing. I was going to, although my worst job. Can I tell you about my worst job now?
Go on.
Can I?
Probably
please,
heard this
please
before.
Let me do it. The worst job I've ever done was working as a cleaner. This is true. I used to clean the floors in the local branch of Marks and Spencer's in Stafford, the place I used to live in. And this was during one of my rest periods, and I wanted to make a little bit of money, so I took a part-time job that meant I had to clean the floors, and also sometimes I had to clean the toilets in the supermarket. Now, these were the staff toilets and also the toilets that the general public would use. Now, this, very, very disgusting. Sometimes people would leave quite a mess for me to clean up.
I can imagine.
So actually, that's almost similar to your job. It's almost similar to the thing you were doing in the past as well. So you were handling other people's poop, and when I was cleaning out the toilets, I was almost handling other people's poop, but not quite.
I was thinking, if you've got to poop in a toilet in a supermarket or in a doctor's surgery, you've obviously got a bit of a problem there, because you can't hold it in till you get home. So, you've obviously... Oh, you're going around the shops, doing your weekly shopping. Oh, hang on, I'm just going to go for a quick poop.
Yeah.
Who does that?
For those who have just joined us, you are now in tune with Poop Hour.
You've probably got...
this is Poop Hour
a
on
bowel
YouTube.
Infection. Surely. I mean, I couldn't... I just have to wait till I got home.
So your worst job was working in the laboratory,
yes,
testing people's blood and also poop, and I guess wee-wee as well.
Yes, had to do that as well.
Do the wee-wee. And I used to work as a cleaner many, many years ago in my teen years, cleaning out a toilet and cleaning the toilets, cleaning the floors. Horrible job. Horrible job. Now, let's get on to another subject that we are going to talk about. Things that really annoy you in daily life. What things, Mr. Steve? What things really?
We're leaving you off the list, are we? I'm not going to say that Mr. Duncan annoys me.
I don't know what you mean by that. Are you saying that I'm annoying?
That's a given, so we won't even bother putting that on the list.
Are you saying I'm annoying?
Not at all. We'll just assume that is the case, and we'll go on to... well, have you asked people what really annoys them?
I have. I've had a few. One of the good ones that I've had so far was people who eat with their mouth full. They have their mouth full, but they open their mouths so you can see what's inside, and also they eat very noisily. So they make a horrible noise. They're chomping and chewing, and the noise is terrible. And also sometimes they open their mouths so you can see the food inside their mouths.
Disgusting.
Hello Son has asked Mr. Steve. Mr. Steve, you have a direct question here. Did your clothes smell like poo when you went home?
We wore a lab coat.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't just the poop, it was the fact we had to mix it with solvents like alcohol and things like that, and the smell of the solvents used to cling onto your clothes. So when I got home, people would say you smell of chemicals because of all the chemicals we used to
Well,
have
that's
to
good.
use.
That's good, isn't it? I would rather smell of chemicals than other people's poop.
I don't know what the chemicals were doing to my system. I'm still here after that was a long time ago, but yes. It wasn't pleasant. I wouldn't like to do it now.
Oh no, I can understand why. Banda says annoying. Who are you saying we're annoying? Are you saying that Mr. Steve and myself are annoying?
Possibly.
Surely not. So 5 annoying things that annoy us in our everyday life. So Mr. Steve, I believe you have your first annoying thing to tell us. So you can go first with your first annoying thing.
Right, well, I've got 5 things here. We might not have time for them all. The first one that annoys me, they're in no particular order, apart from the number one annoying thing, which
just
is
tell us what it
top
is.
Number one.
Tell us what it is, please.
The top one, or shall I start from that? Right, let's go with recycling.
Recycling,
Recycling. We have to. I don't know what other countries, what your laws are, and what you have to do with your local council. You've got your rubbish in your house. Tin cans, bottles, newspapers. What do you do with it? We used to just shove it in one big bin. The bin collectors would come. The council would take it away, and they would take it to this magical place, and they'd sort it all out for you. They'd separate the cans and the plastic bottles and the newspapers and the cardboard. But no, not anymore. We have to do it ourselves in the UK. So it's incredibly annoying. Look at this complicated sheet.
Sorry?
Complicated sheet telling me what I've got to do with all my various bits of waste.
Let's have another look. Hold it right up in front of your
hold
face.
It right up. There we go.
Hold it in front of you.
Can you see that?
That's an improvement. Can we put it back? We're trying to read it, Mr. Steve.
Well, I was going to explain it, you see.
Yes, but we can't see it because you're on the split screen.
Oh.
That's easy.
That's better.
So let me just have a look. How to sort your waste for collection. Now this seems very, I think this is interesting. Look at that. So there are lots of ways that you could help the planet. So the planet doesn't explode in a ball of flames. You can sort out your waste for collection.
And there is the complicated timetable.
What is that?
That's a timetable of which week they're going to collect which particular bucket of waste.
That looks like the flight plan of Heathrow Airport.
Yes, my point is I've got nothing against recycling, but I don't want to have to do it. I pay the council tax to sort out this sort of thing, and I probably takes me an hour a week to put the plastic bottles into one thing, the cardboard into another thing, and there's 4 bins. 4 separate bins I've got here. There used to be 5.
Don't they realise you are a very busy man, Mr. Steve?
Yeah, exactly. I've got to prepare for appearing on your show every week. That takes me a lot of time, and I could spend that time that I'm recycling preparing to be on your show. And it just annoys me because you can't just shove everything in one bin and throw it out.
Okay then.
Yes.
So recycling is something you find annoying.
Yes.
So I'm going to give you one of mine now. Let's have one of mine. If I can find the piece of paper. So one of my annoying things, something that annoys me every day, because I'm on the internet a lot. I use the internet all the time, and the thing that I really hate is clickbait. I hate clickbait. So you know what it's like. You want to look at the news, you want to read some news or look at some information on the internet. So you go to a site that has been advertised with a small thumbnail and you click on it. But when you get to it, you just find there are lots of advertisements all over the place. And so that is clickbait. So normally clickbait offers something very juicy or very interesting, like, see this actor, see what they look like now, they look old and ugly, and so you want to click on it because you want to see what the actor who was very young when you liked them and now they're very old and ugly, you want to look at them, you want to see what they look like now. So you click on it, and it's clickbait. So when you click on it, all you get are lots of adverts and lots of useless things on your screen. So yes, clickbait.
Yes. Another annoying one that keeps coming up all the time when I'm on the internet is you suddenly see this little advert that pops up, 10 foods you should never eat, or something like that, or 10 of something you should never do. And it's always bananas are always on there. Have you noticed? 10 foods you should... They always say don't eat bananas.
It's always 10 things. So
Yes.
10 things you must not eat ever in your life, or 10 things you are doing wrong.
Yes.
You are walking down the road wrong. Here are 10 reasons why the way you walk is wrong. And it's just clickbait. It's rubbish. Ignore it.
Rubbish.
But it's so difficult nowadays. Even the news, even news stories on the internet have started to use clickbait as well. So I don't like it. So there is mine. That is one of
Okay.
my annoying things. Something that really annoys me every day is clickbait. Clickbait. So, Mr. Steve, give us one of yours.
Right. Car related. 4x4 drivers.
Oh, okay then.
Oh.
So what are 4x4 drivers? What
4x4.
first of all, what is a 4x4?
A 4x4 is a giant car jacked up by about a metre compared to other vehicles. It's
what do you mean?
four-wheel drive.
Where there, Mr. Steve? Whoa, just put the brakes on there. What does jacked up mean? Jacked up?
It means it's raised up. So they're cars that are higher than normal saloon cars, and they're four-wheel drive, and they're massive, great big things. And everyone's you're sitting higher in them. Sort of 20, 30 years ago, the only people that drove 4x4s were farmers, so that they could get into their fields.
Let me get this
But,
right, because they're used for off-road.
They're used for off-road. Traditionally, a 4x4 was used for off-road, but now they're very popular as everyday cars. They're huge. You're sitting above everybody else. And people that tend to drive them, now there may be some 4x4 drivers watching now, so I've got to be careful, but they tend to drive very aggressively, and they're really, 4x4 cars are really the thugs of the road. I think if you're driving a 4x4, you're saying, get out of my way, or I'm going to smash you up.
So what you're saying is people that drive that type of car tend to be bullies. They're very forceful people, or maybe they are very arrogant or egotistical.
Yes, they just annoy me. They just annoy me. And the worse the weather is, the faster they drive, because they think that they're somehow safe in these great big vehicles. Of course, if you get hit by one, because they weigh twice as much as your car, though, you'll probably get demolished. Which is, of course, the main reason people buy them, I think, is because they feel safer in them. But unfortunately, if they make a mistake and hit you, then you'll be wiped out because it's weighing twice as much as you. So I would ban them. If I was a leader like Kim Jong-un, if I've pronounced that correctly, a dictator, which I'd love to be, the first thing I would do is ban 4x4s. I'm not joking. I hate them. I would just ban them.
So Mr. Steve is not a fan of 4x4 cars. There is one. You can see it on the screen there. 4x4 cars. They are big, and the people that drive them tend to be very arrogant, and they want to control the whole of the road. That's what Mr. Steve over there thinks.
We don't need them. We don't need a big 4x4. They don't do anything. They use up more fuel. There's no more room in them. They're pointless cars for the road. But they're like nuclear weapons. If somebody's got one, you almost feel you've got to get one as well in order to protect yourself.
Well, there is something I didn't think I'd hear today. 4x4 cars are as bad as nuclear weapon.
It's like your neighbour's suddenly got a nuclear weapon, and you think, well, I've got to get one of those, otherwise to protect myself.
Okay, let's have a look at one of mine. Here is one of my.
I've said enough.
Before Mr. Steve starts foaming at the mouth,
I'm getting hot. I'm getting all hot now.
Like a rabid dog.
Right, what's your next annoying thing?
Here's something that really annoys me. When you go to the supermarket and the person is blocking the thing that you want to buy. So there is something that you see that you want to buy, but you can't get to it because someone else is standing in front of you. And quite often they are on their mobile phone talking to their wife. Hello, love. Hello, love. Love. They haven't got the butter that you want. Shall I get the other butter? Shall I get the other butter? They haven't got it. They haven't got the butter that you normally have. Shall I get the other one? Shall I get the other one? Shall I get the other butter? The other butter. They haven't got the one that you like. Shall I get the other one? Yeah, the other butter.
I think we get it.
Yeah, the other butter. No, not that butter. No, the one that you want, they haven't got.
Or they're reading all
Shall I get the other one? Yeah. And it goes on for ages. And I'm standing there like a complete pillock, like a complete idiot, waiting for this person to finish their phone call so I can reach across and take the item that I want. But the person is standing there on the phone. Yeah, no, they haven't got that one. No, I just said they haven't got that one. No, they haven't got it.
Or they're reading all the ingredients on the back of something.
I want to just
the other thing.
I want to just punch them. I want to
He's
say,
getting angry.
I want to say, hey, get out of the way. I'm trying to get my product. I'm trying to get it. I'm in a hurry. So please stop your very long phone conversation. It was a bit like you earlier, Mr. Steve, talking on the telephone.
Right.
I'm calming down. Calm down. I should do some Tai Chi. Because when I was in China, I did a lot of Tai Chi, you see, to calm me down, to ease my stress. So there we go. Supermarkets, people in supermarkets, they are sometimes very annoying, especially when they block the aisles.
Right.
So another one of yours, please.
What annoys me is cleaning my teeth.
Cleaning your teeth?
My teeth.
That doesn't sound like something annoying.
It's just annoying. It doesn't take up much time. It just annoys me. The last thing you do before you go to bed is clean your teeth, and I'm just it just seems to go on forever. It feels like an eternity. And then first thing in the morning you have to do it's like perjury. I just hate cleaning my teeth. When you think how much time you spend cleaning your teeth in your entire lifetime, it probably would mount up to days or weeks. And it just annoys me having to do it. I have to do it, of course, otherwise I'd have bad breath.
Yes, and also later in life, all your teeth will fall out.
All your teeth would fall out. It just annoys me.
Imagine that. Imagine if you had no teeth. Hello everybody, it's Mr. Duncan here and Mr. Steve. Go on, Mr. Steve, pretend you've got no teeth.
Hello, Mr. Duncan.
It's Mr. Duncan here and also Mr. Steve. There's nothing worse than losing all your teeth. So I disagree with you. I think you're wrong there. I think cleaning your teeth is very important, even though it takes a very long time and you have to do it at least twice a day. So it does take up a lot of your day because you have to clean your teeth carefully. But I think cleaning your teeth is something very useful and important. So I must admit, I do disagree. I disagree with you there, Mr. Steve.
I just find it annoying.
Okay, here's another one. Now this is one of mine.
Okay.
This is a general one, actually. This is a very general one. Politeness, or should I say the lack of politeness. So people who are rude during the day. For example, when you open a door for someone. So maybe you are coming out of the shops or going in the shops, and someone is coming towards you on the other side, and you open the door for them. You open it for them. Da, 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 da. I've opened the door for you. But they don't say thank you. They say nothing. They just walk through and say nothing. So I think lack of politeness in daily society really does annoy me. It gets on my nerves. I hope you are enjoying this. Yes. Mr. Steve and myself, we are both getting it off our chests. So if you get it off your chest, It means you express something that you've always wanted to say, something that you've kept inside. You get it off your chest. So another one, please, Mr. Steve.
Well, it's another car-related one, and it's sort of related to lack of politeness as well, and it's most other car drivers.
Other motorists.
Most other motorists. Well, at least half of them. Because the thing when you're in a car is that you can, people I think feel as though they can get away with a lot because you're not going to be able to catch them. If you were face to face with somebody or near somebody and you behaved in a way that many people behave on the roads, you would probably get a punch in the face. But because you're in a car and you cut somebody up, or you're right 2 inches from their bumper, or you make some ridiculous risky maneuver, or you're going 30 miles an hour in a 60 mile an hour limit, because there's a great big metal box between you and them and you can speed off, they think they can get away with behaving in a way that you would never be able to behave if you were actually with that person face to face. So,
but I think this is a common problem. I don't want to interrupt you there, but I think this is a common problem when people step into the car, even if they are in everyday life a lovely person, something strange happens when you get into the car, when you get behind the wheel of a car. You become a psychopath. You become completely crazy, and your whole personality changes.
Most people, when they get behind the wheel, have got a different personality, and I think people drink too much coffee and then get behind the wheel of the car and they become very impatient and selfish, and they don't respect other car drivers, and that's got a lot worse over the last since I've been driving, the last 30 years. It's got a lot worse. People have less respect for people on the roads because, and I don't really blame people in a way, our lives are a lot busier, everyone's got to get everywhere a lot faster, a lot quicker, even though really in reality if you overtake somebody, you're really not going to get to your destination that much quicker on the average journey.
Yes, so when you overtake, the person behind you drives past you, they overtake you, and sometimes they do it in very dangerous situations. So maybe a very narrow road, someone will take over you, they will go past you, and the road is very narrow, or maybe there is a bend ahead.
Yes.
So people do sometimes drive very crazily, in a very crazy manner. So what about you? Do you ever get angry when you're behind the wheel of the car, Steve?
I do. I'm guilty of that as well, but your rational brain tells you there's no point. I'm going 50 miles an hour and the speed limit is 60 miles an hour, then I want to go 60 if the road is safe to do so. So if someone's going 50, I just always want to get by, even though rationally my brain is telling me I've got 20 miles to go. Going past that person is probably only going to save about 10 seconds or 20 seconds off my journey. That's the reality of it. But your emotions take over, and it's very difficult to resist I find it difficult to resist, and obviously a lot of other people do as well, because they'll overtake, and you often catch them up, don't you, at the next set of traffic lights, and you feel very smug because they've gone past you, but you've caught them up anyway, so they've saved no time at all.
Yeah, let's just face it, there are some idiots on the road. There are some idiots who should not be behind the wheel of a car. I think it's very fair to say. I've actually got some replies here.
Right.
Attila says, I am very annoyed when my neighbour plays their music too loudly.
Yes.
That is very annoying. Social disturbances such as loud music, and maybe if someone is doing some DIY in their house, so they are banging, they are hammering, they are using noisy equipment, or maybe they are playing music, or maybe their dog is barking all the time. We will come to that in a moment. So yes, thank you very much. Also, another annoying thing.
It's all. Sorry, can I interrupt there? It
okay.
all boils down to lack of respect.
Yes.
People think if they think they can get away with it, they'll do it. I don't mind if a neighbour's doing some DIY, they would just come round. I would go round and say, look, I've got a party this afternoon. Sorry if there's any disturbance, or I'm having something done to the house. There's going to be a bit of noise. Sorry about that. But if you tell somebody, it diffuses the whole situation.
Here's one. I've got one. This is brilliant, Steve. I've got a great one here from Olga. Olga says, I am annoyed when my son opens the drawers of the freezer and he takes something out, but he doesn't close the door afterwards. Now, I think someone here right now also does that.
You.
Me. Sometimes I do that. So I must admit, sometimes when I go into the freezer or even the refrigerator, sometimes I go in there and take something out, but I forget to close the door, or I forget to push the drawer in the freezer, especially in the deep freeze. So I normally leave the door open or the drawer open, and so everything starts to thaw, everything starts to go soft. So yes, and that annoys you, doesn't it, Mr. Steve?
Yes, I think that's my sort of lab training. Because if there's something in there, because a fridge, when you open the fridge door, even if it's only for a short period of time, it takes the fridge a long time to bring the temperature back down. So if you open a fridge for, say, 5 minutes, and a lot of people will open the fridge door and they'll make a cup of tea, then they'll get the milk out and they'll leave it open and they won't shut it till they've made the drink or whatever they're going to do, and then they'll put it back, then they'll shut the door 5 minutes later. Meanwhile, it's going to take the fridge probably 2 hours to get the temperature back down again.
I'm a bit worried now, Steve. Steve, see, because you've said that refrigerators remind you of when you were working in the lab. Now I'm getting worried now. Now, can you just reassure me at this very moment that there is no poop in our refrigerator?
Absolutely none.
100% sure?
100% sure.
Because I am going to check afterwards. I'm going to have a look in the refrigerator. And if I find any poop in that refrigerator, there will be trouble.
There is a dead fox in there, but apart from that...
Okay.
No, there's no poop in there whatsoever. Just lots of fruit and vegetables.
Maybe ad-libbing is something you should avoid for a while. I'm not sure about a dead fox. Sorry, please come back, everyone. There isn't really a dead fox in the refrigerator. It was a joke, okay?
I think the viewers knew I was joking.
Whew, that was close. Whew, we really jumped the shark then. Okay, here's one of mine then. The last one that I'm having.
Right.
This is something, I think this might annoy people as well. This is something that really gets on my nerves. A thing, or should I say things, dogs.
Dogs.
I don't know why. It would appear, especially here in the UK and maybe in England and the UK, people have started treating dogs as if they are human beings. Can I just say now, just for the record, dogs are not human beings. They are rather stupid animals on 4 legs. I know that's going to annoy a lot of people. Please don't tune away. Just hear me out. But dogs are not humans. So when you talk to them like they are human beings, they can't hear. They can't understand what you're saying. All they hear is blah, 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 blah. So they can't understand you. So dogs are not human beings. So can we please stop treating dogs as if they are human, as if they have human emotions? They don't. Okay. I love animals, but I don't go outside and I don't go up to the robin and ask him about the weather. I don't talk to him about the latest political situation in North Korea. I don't talk to the robins like that. But some people talk to their pets as if they are human beings. They're not, okay? And also, dog owners, please, when your dog does a poop, what is it about this program? We always seem to end up talking about poop. when your dog does a poop, could you please clear it up afterwards so I don't have to step into it? So there, dogs can be very annoying. And also don't forget when dogs
What
when
was
they
that?
barking dogs. I can't stand barking dogs. So I hope the new neighbour that we are having soon, we are having a new neighbour moving in next door in about 2 weeks' time. I hope they don't have a barking dog. I
Wouldn't
really
get
hope
off
so.
to a good start if they did.
So do you have another one, Mr. Steve?
I do.
The last one. The last one.
The
from
last one.
our
Okay.
annoying things. That's what we're asking today. We are asking in daily life what things really annoy you.
I think then my absolute number one thing that annoys me is passwords.
Passwords, eh? That's very
Passwords, or as you pronounced it, passwords. Either is correct in the
Yes.
UK.
interesting. Okay.
If you're a bit posher, you would say passwords. If you're a bit common, you would say passwords.
Common like me, you mean?
Either is acceptable, but no, passwords. Let's face it, our lives have been taken over by passwords. My computer, my phone, my tablet, everything needs a password. And it's so annoying. Because how many, and not only that, where I am at work, every individual app on the computer also has its own password. So I haven't just got one password to get in the computer. Well, I haven't got one anyway. I've got a BitLocker, so that's one I've got to put in before even Windows has opened up. Then I've got to put a username and a password in. That's got to change every 3 months. And then every little app that I open also has its own separate password, some of which I don't have to change every 3 months, some of which I do. So you end up, I must have, probably, like a lot of people out there, 20 or 30 passwords for various different things, various different devices. And why have we got all these passwords?
I don't know.
Because of criminals.
Oh, okay.
That's why.
Yes,
So-
there are a lot of bad people around in the world. Mr. Steve, you are really annoying me at the moment because you're going off the screen. Can you just step? That's it. That's
Better?
better. Yes, you're slowly going away. It's like you're slowly setting like the sun.
Because I'm getting passionate and about talking about the annoyance of passwords.
So passwords. So for a moment, I thought you were going to tell us what your passwords were.
No, I'm not going to tell you what they are. It doesn't matter anyway because I'm going to change them probably next week.
What I love, you know, when you first join a website or you go to a website and they ask you to create a password, they always tell you not to use easy words, like you're a complete idiot. So don't use 1, 2, 3, 4 or A, B, C, D. Okay, thank you very much. I was about to do that, you see, because whenever I create a password, I always use 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, it won't let you do that anymore.
Oh, okay.
It won't let you do that anymore. You've got to have probably now a minimum of 8. This is the thing that's crept in recently. You've got to have at least 8 characters. Some of them have got to be numbers, some of them have got to be symbols, and some of them have got to be capitals. So you can't easily remember it. So you end up having to write them all down, which isn't very secure, is it? And it's all because of criminals.
So that's the ludicrous thing. That's the lunacy of it. They say you must have lots of passwords, but you mustn't write them down. What a stupid thing. How am I supposed to remember 20 or 30 passwords? How am I supposed to keep them all in my head? So, of course, everybody writes them down somewhere. You'd be crazy not to, because there is no way that you can remember all of those passwords.
And the latest thing now is that you've put all your passwords in, but then as an added security level, they send you a number on your mobile phone to verify that it's you. So you've put all your passwords in, say your bank. That's the latest thing. My bank now wants me not only to put in the passwords, the username, the password, and then 3 selected letters from my other special word, and then I've got to say what's my favourite colour or where was I born. So that's 4 security levels. They also now want my mobile phone number to send me a code on there, which I've then got to put in as well.
It's crazy. YouTube does this as well. YouTube does this. Sometimes if you log in and then you accidentally spell the password wrong, you get a couple of the letters the wrong way round, and you do it 3 times, then it locks you out. You can't go in. So then you have to do this stupid thing where you have to then have this number sent to your phone or to another email address, and then you have to send that number. Then you have to, or sometimes YouTube will phone you, and then you have to enter the number on your phone because you've mistyped your password 3 times. It just drives me crazy. And the reason why we do it, why do we have to do this, Steve?
Because of criminals.
Because of scumbags.
That's right.
That's the reason why. All of our lives have been made a misery. Oh, we have some feedback here. Someone getting a bit angry with me here. Normally, Faizan says most people have passwords that relate to their crush names. When you say crush, do you mean their lover? Someone they love or they are in love with? Okay, then I suppose that's reasonable. As long as your lover's name isn't 1, 2, 3, 4.
They won't let you do that now. You've got to have at least 8 in most devices now.
Okay, I'm getting into trouble now. I'm being told off here about dogs.
I'm not surprised.
Matthew Boone. I'm in trouble now. This is it. I am in the doghouse. Do you remember that? I'm in the doghouse. It's not my most favourite place to be, for obvious reasons. Matthew Boone says some people are depending on dogs, such as guide dogs, if they are blind. Okay, I put my hands up. I agree with you entirely. Dogs are very useful in that respect. They are helping people to move around if they have sight disabilities, if they are blind, or if they have vision disabilities. I don't know what the word is we use nowadays because they keep changing it every day. See, there's another annoying thing. They keep changing terms, changing words for things every day. So yes, I agree. Matthew, I can't disagree there. You are right. I put my hands up. I say you are right about that.
And dogs do provide, if you're lonely, particularly if you're elderly, they do, of course, provide company. But they also kill babies. Let's face it. At least once a month in this country, somebody's dog kills their baby. Have you noticed that? It's very tragic, but they are animals after all, and if you leave them roaming around with babies, they get jealous and kill the baby.
Okay, I've just thought of another one. When you walk along, you are walking, one day you're having a nice walk in the countryside, and then a dog comes towards you and it starts barking and snarling at you. And then the owner says, "It's all right, he won't hurt you." But you're thinking, no, I think this dog might bite my leg off at any second because it's barking at me. It doesn't look very happy. But the owner says, "It's all right, he's just being friendly." Now imagine if human beings did that. Imagine if I went up to another person in the street and I went, what would you do?
Well, I'd lock you up, probably.
Yeah. So there you go.
But,
so no. If your
put
dog
you on a
comes up-
lead. That's what I do. You
Yeah.
should be on a lead.
Another thing, yes, there are so many annoying things about dogs. I'm just remembering them all now. When people let their dog run free in a field where there are animals like cattle or sheep. So they just let their animal run around where the wild animals are, or where maybe the farmers' animals are. So yeah, there's another one.
I've just thought of another very annoying thing, not on my list, but related to that. People that own cats. Okay. People that own cats and also put up bird feeders. So they like to feed the birds, they like the birds, but they've got a cat.
I know.
And the cat is going to kill the birds.
I think some cat owners, not all cat owners, but people who own cats, and then they put the bird feeder in their garden where the cat lives. And cats love eating birds. Well, in fact, they don't eat them. They just torture them.
They torture them.
They slowly kill them. That's why I get very annoyed with cats as well, because cats will slowly torture. So they don't eat the bird. They torture it. They play with it. So the animal is suffering for a very long time. So why do people do that? Why do they have a cat and then they put a bird feeder in the garden, which will attract the birds, and then the cat eats the birds?
Doesn't make sense to me.
Doesn't make sense?
No.
Anyway, I think we will leave it there, Mr. Steve. 47 minutes. We've beat the record from last week.
That's a long time. I've really enjoyed it. Anybody else got any more annoying things, or are you going to leave that subject for today?
I think we'll leave it for today.
Right.
So thank you very much, Mr. Steve. We have just another 12 minutes to go, and then I'm out of here.
Wow. So I better let you wrap up the show.
I better wrap it up, or else YouTube will be coming into the studio. YouTube will come in and say, Here, Mr. Duncan, we want our bandwidth back. Give us our bandwidth back, you silly man. So, thank you, Mr. Steve. We will see you next week.
Thank you very much. I can go and finish my phone call now, but thank you very much for inviting me, and it was lovely to talk to all your lovely viewers and share a bit of English and teach, and thank you once again for inviting me, and hopefully you will invite me back next week.
Well, at least I know where the heavy breathing comes from now, when Mr. Steve is making his phone calls.
Oh, right. That's not me. Right, I'm going to take something like last week. I'm going to take something with me out of your studio. What shall I take this week? I'm taking this roll of yellow tape. Bye-bye. See you next week.
Bye, Mr. Steve. There he goes. There is no way on this planet that Mr. Steve is right in the head. I think so. So there we go. Mr. Steve has gone, and I will be going very soon. Talking of Mr. Steve, we were out yesterday outside recording some flash words and also a flash phrase. Would you like another flash word? Okay.
Finicky. Finicky is an English adjective. The word finicky is an English adjective that means to be fussy or picky about things. A fastidious or hard-to-please person can be described as being finicky. For example, you are such a finicky eater. I can't stand your finicky behaviour. A finicky person is often hard to please because they will always find fault in everything. A finicky person can be described as fussy, choosy, pernickety, picky, selective, and hard to please. Finicky.
Did you miss last week's live English? For those who missed it, here is last week's live English lesson in 25 seconds. Wasn't that amazing? Did you enjoy that? Today's mystery idioms, I will give you the answer very shortly. We almost forgot about these, didn't we? In fact, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something I've never done before. Something I've never done before. I'm going to have those mystery idioms next week. So I'm not going to give you the answers today. I'm going to give you the answers next week. The answers to the mystery idioms will be coming next week because we're running out of time. So there they are, the mystery idioms once again. And I will give you the answers to those next week because we haven't talked much about them. So next week I will give you the answers to the mystery idioms. You will have to wait a whole week. So maybe something that is annoying to you is Mr. Duncan. That's me, by the way. I'm talking about myself in the third person. Just like Donald Trump does. So next week I will reveal the answers to today's mystery idioms. You have to wait another week. Yes, of course, I will be here next week. You can catch me on YouTube every Sunday from 2 p.m. UK time. Back to the live chat. Lots of people want to say hello. Manuel says, I agree with what Mr. Steve says concerning the 4x4 cars. I think they are very arrogant. That's a great word, isn't it? Arrogant. An arrogant person, a person who thinks they are superior to other people. They are better than everyone else. They are very arrogant. Shira Blade says, the 4x4 car isn't the true problem. But the problem is who is driving it. Oh yes, it's a little bit like the gun thing, isn't it? So some people say that guns don't kill people. People kill people. So I suppose that the car is not really doing the bad thing. The car is just a big hunk of metal. So the driver is the person who behaves in an arrogant way. Julie G says, brushing teeth is very boring. I agree with what Mr. Steve says. Oh, I see. Asil, here's an interesting point from Asil. Asil says your teeth will fall out whether you wash them or not. I'm not sure about that. I think if you keep your teeth healthy until you are old, I think your teeth can stay in your head. Mr. Steve's mother, I'm not sure if Mr. Steve's mum minds me saying this, but Mr. Steve's mother still has her teeth. And she is now 86, 87, and she still has all of her own teeth. So yes, you can keep your teeth until you are very old, but you must take good care of them. Manar asks, Mr. Duncan, what does clickbait mean? Clickbait is something that you see on the internet. Maybe it is an advertisement, but it's pretending to be something useful, like, I don't know, some information about health, or maybe politics, or something to do with the news. But really, it is just a way of getting you to look at advertisements. So clickbait is something that catches your attention on the internet and you want to click on it. You can't resist because the topic looks very inviting. It looks very interesting. 10 reasons why Hollywood hates a certain actor, or maybe 10 reasons why some people get very fat, or maybe look at this actress. She used to be on TV in the 1970s, but look at what she looks like now. She's really old. And you want to click on it. You want to click because it's very interesting. You can't resist. So you click on it and then you find that you have to look at lots and lots of commercials or adverts. So that is what clickbait is. Clickbait. Bait means something that lures you. It attracts you. Bait. When you go fishing, you normally use bait to attract the fish. So there it is. Clickbait. I hope I explained that well. I hope so. Manuel says, one annoying thing of this day is people who walk and type on their mobile phones. Yes, people who walk along the pavement or sidewalk. They are playing with their phone. They are staring at their phone. And sometimes they will walk into you. They will actually bump into you because they are not paying attention. So sometimes people walk along the street and they are hypnotized by their phone. They can't stop looking at it. Even whilst walking down the road, they are still looking at their phone. Yes, I agree, Manuel. That is a very annoying thing indeed. Well, can you believe it? We have almost come to the end of today's live stream. Before I go, we're going to have a look at one more flash. Oh, we're going to have a flash phrase this time. So this is a flash phrase from Mr. Steve just before we go.
Get your act together. Get your act together is an English phrase. The phrase get your act together is an English phrase that means improve yourself, concentrate harder, improve your attitude. You might tell someone to get their act together if they are not working hard enough or concentrating enough on their job. We often use get your act together as a warning. For example, this is your final warning. You either get your act together or we will have to fire you. You need to work harder, so get your act together. We can also urge someone to smarten up their act. You can tell someone to pull their finger out. You might warn a person that unless they get their act together, they will be out the door, dismissed, sacked. They will be fired. Get your act together.
Ooh, that was very scary. Did you notice the way the leaves started to blow as we moved away from Mr. Steve? It was almost like a ghost was lurking around, was lurking in the apple tree. Wow, very scary. So that's it. It is now 4 o'clock. It's time for me to say goodbye. I hope you've enjoyed today's live stream. Thank you for joining in. Thanks a lot. I will be here next Sunday. Don't forget, from 2 p.m. UK time. Mr. Steve will be here as well. Thank you very much. I will give you the answers to the mystery idioms next week. So I hope I remember. If I don't, you can remind me. All right. It's time to go. I will see you next week, next Sunday at 2 p.m. UK time for those who are interested. Thanks for watching me talking to you live today. This is Mr. Duncan in the birthplace of the English language, wishing you a good week. I hope you have a safe one as well. And of course, you know what's coming next. Yes, you do. Ta-ta for now. We are out of here.